In 2007, I had a chance to work on a movie in downtown Orlando, and coincidentally enough, a friend of mine who's actually the wife of the band director that I had at UCF, she worked there, and one day we were working on a project together, and I asked her if I could maybe ask for a favor, and this was probably about, I don't know, sometime in March of '07, so about 6 months prior, and I asked her, I was like, what would you think if I tried to propose to Amber on top of the Trade Plaza building? She goes, oh, I think that'd be a great idea. I'm like, well, do you think it's possible, you know, get me out on the balcony and for me to propose? She's like, oh, I'll definitely make it happen.
So I found out that Mr. Shapens was doing some pretty good scheming behind my back. It started about 3 months ago. We started to look for rings because he wanted to get an idea of what I liked, because I couldn't tell him what I liked. I just told him I wanted something different, and you know, when I seen it, that was going to be the ring.
Amber and I had been, we'd been going around and looking at different rings, and I was just, you know, trying to get an idea of what she wanted, and I was going to take the advice of our pastor, you know, Brother Jeff. What's up, brother? He had told me that for his wife, that they went ring shopping, and that he had found 5 different rings for his wife that she liked, and he was the one that picked the actual one that he gave her. So I'm like, oh, this should work for Amber. No.
So we went to different jewelry stores, and you know, everything was just okay, and I really didn't fall for anything. And one night he had told me, he was like, well, let's go check out Shane & Company. It's a new jewelry store at the mall. And we go in there, and you know, we met with the jeweler, and he said, well, let's just take a look around. This place had like 22 cases of rings, and I think they said it like 18,000 rings, engagement rings. Ridiculous. And let me tell you, we spent 3 hours looking for these rings. And you know, we're going through each case, and you know, the jeweler's like, well, what do you like? Let me get some ideas. And I said, I have no idea. I said, it's just gonna be something when you pull it out of the case, and I'm gonna be like, oh, yeah, that's it. So he starts pulling out some stuff, and I'm like, no, I don't like that one either. And he's like, well, at least you don't take 2 minutes looking at it. And I said, hey, I'm not gonna waste your time. Let's just get the ring out, let me see it, and then I'll tell you if I like it. So he pulls out a couple of rings, and I'd picked like 2 or 3, and he had a little case for me, and we were just going around the store. And we get to the case called the Calicut collection. And we're looking at different rings, and I'd seen this real pretty one. It was another one that I'd put in the case. And this other girl that worked there, she had one on her finger, showing it to someone else. And I said, oh, can I see that ring? And she was like, yeah, sure, this is new. So she takes the ring, and I'm looking at it, and like, that was the ring. This is it, because it had the separate band setting, and just everything about it was gorgeous. And I told Mark, I'm like, this is it, I don't like any of the rest of them. He's like, you're supposed to give me like 3 or 4 options. I'm like, I'm sorry, you know, this is where it was going to be when I found the ring.
We found 1 ring out of 5 stores, one of them having 22 cases of engagement rings. Now, I'm talking at least 20 rings per case. We found 1 ring that Amber wanted. So it kind of limited me on what I was allowed to do.
He's like, okay, you can't pick out another one? I'm like, no, this is the ring. And so, you know, we sit there and talk to the jeweler some more, just about random stuff, and Mark's like, okay, can you go to the car now?
I went ahead and locked the ring in.
So I'm sitting out in the car, waiting about 30 minutes. I'm on the phone with my friend, and I'm telling my friend all about the story. Thank you, Carmelita, you've been great. So I'm telling her all the story, and he comes back out to the car, and I'm like, so what'd you talk about?
Football.
I'm like, you can't talk just about football. You're in a jewelry store. We're looking at engagement rings. You can't just be talking about football.
Which we did, but that was like 5 minutes of the conversation.
He didn't really take me to any more jewelry stores, and I was sort of getting a little, like, you know, my mind was playing different role plays here. I'm like, well, why ain't he taking me any more places? You know, why ain't we looking some more? He wanted to get more ideas. You know, why? You know, that he was complaining about, he doesn't have any more ideas when he did the ring. So
I had a chance to go through and really finish, you know, getting the ring size and get everything set up for, and we went back one other time. She had a chance to look at it because the ring was on hold.
Apparently that night when we were looking at the rings, I didn't catch the part that Shane & Company does not hold rings. And, you know, they pulled out the little envelope, and, you know, I tried it back on. I'm like, yeah, this is the ring. I haven't, you know, I love this ring. He's like, okay. So, again, you know, another 2-3 weeks go by. He still hasn't said anything about no more rings. We haven't went to look at anymore. Okay, what's going on?
We went back a third time and the ring was gone.
So I want to go back a third time and look at the ring again. And I was supposed to meet a friend at the mall. And I said, well, how about you just go with me? We'll go check out the ring again. And he was like, oh, okay. Really wasn't that excited, but he went with me anyway. So we go back into the jewelry store and, you know, we asked RC to look at the ring again. And RC was like, well, I've been gone for a couple of days, so let me go find the ring. I said, okay. So I'm going and looking at other cases of rings, and Mark has sort of, you know, found his way to the back. I'm not sure where he went, but he left. And RC and him's coming back, walking towards me, and RC's like, I'm sorry, I've been gone for the past couple of days, but it sold on Monday. And I'm like, what? It sold? It's gone? I was so upset.
And she was so upset. I knew I was in trouble at that point.
The ring that I found that I wanted was gone. And RC's like, well, I guess we're going to start from scratch. We need to find some more ideas for you. And I'm like, no, I like this ring. I wanted this ring. And Shane & Company never gets the same ring in twice. It's only one. And I was so upset. Mark's like, I'm so sorry. And, you know, I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say. Like, it upsets me now because it was gone. So anyway, I ended up having to go to work.
And she was complaining to people and to her coworkers and complaining to my roommate. And after she left that night of complaining to my roommate, he came to me and said, Mark, you're either incredibly smart or incredibly stupid. I stuck out my hand and I shook his hand. He goes, good man.
On November the 19th, actually 2 days prior, he had already told me that we had a surprise birthday party to go to for Kim, a woman that he knew, that he worked with. Her husband's birthday party was on Monday. It was going to be a surprise. He had already told me this. Well, on Monday, I had the day off. We had plans to go Christmas decoration shopping because he had never bought a tree, and I wanted to add a little Christmas spirit to his house. So we go and buy the tree, the ornaments, and all the shenanigans that needs to be for the house. And throughout the day, I'm like, I don't want to go to this birthday party. Do we really have to go?
Can we just stay at home? I'm just kind of feeling cozy. Do we have to go out? And I'm like, oh wait, you know, we already told them that we'd be there, so we'll just, you know, get all looking good and go downtown, say a quick hey, and you know, leave or something.
I'm like, okay, so we get ready, we go downtown, we park under the Trade Plaza Center building, and it was 5:30. He gets out of the car, he looks at his phone.
I was like, oh, we're not supposed to be here until 6:30. Look, and I showed her the text message, and she's like, we could have been decorating the tree for another hour.
Because we didn't finish before we left. I'm like, we could have finished this. I can't believe you didn't pay attention to your text. I was getting upset. And he said, I'm sorry. I said, well, what are we going to do for an hour now? And he said, well, I'll take you up to the last location where I shot the movie.
Got in the elevator, and I was like, whoop, 21. So we just go up all the way up to the 21st floor. And we get out, and it's Kuhn Companies. It's straight up business, corporate world, you know, meeting tables everywhere, security desk. No one's there, though, completely empty. She's like, Mark, we're not supposed to be here.
All the lights are turned out. Everybody's gone home for the day. And I'm like, Mark, we're not supposed to be here. We need to leave now.
I'm like, nah, it'll be fine. I know Kim. You don't remember that? Yeah, I haven't talked to her in a while, but yeah, it'll be all right. So we go, and we're walking through, and we're so close to getting to the balcony where I'm going to propose to her, and then we hear someone's voice, and she's like, we're going.
And I'm like, no, Mark, we're leaving now. Like, I'm heading back to the elevator ready to leave him. And he said, no, come on. He literally dragged me by the arm to get me out on the balcony. It took a lot. But we get out on the balcony, and, you know, we're just staying out there 10 or 15 minutes. We're talking about all kinds, you know, different stuff, just everyday life stuff.
Just looking around the city and this and that, and kind of looking here. And I was slowly inching her towards the way because I had done a walkthrough with my photographer, Steven. Thank you, Steven. And Kim the couple days before, and we had set everything up. So Steven knew exactly where we had to be to get the best picture for us with the sunset and all that stuff. So we kind of walking up, slowly inching her, and then, you know, I'm giving her a hug. She's like, why is your heart beating so fast? Like, I'm afraid of heights. I don't. She's like, we jumped out of an airplane together. You can't be afraid of it. I'm like, oh, it's different. You know, airplane, it's high, and I can see the ground. I guess she bought it.
The lights are turning on downtown. It's starting to get dark, and the sky's turning orange and purple and all these different colors. It's gorgeous. And he looked at me. He said, I know this is kind of random, but would you pray with me? And we always pray together, so I'm like, yes, of course. So he puts his forehead to mine, and he starts praying, and towards the end of his prayer,
I say, God, I just really ask that you put it in Amber's heart and you just give me the strength that I just might have the ability. And I get down on one knee and I said, Amber, will you marry me? And there was, I don't know how long it was until she then said,
are you kidding me? And I still didn't say anything. He just still stood there, sat there on his knee.
and then again, I don't know how long it was until for her to actually say,
Yes. And of course, then I start crying, and I jump up in his arms, and then Stephen comes out from behind the bushes. He had been there taking pictures the entire time. Kim comes out with a box of Kleenex and a bottle of champagne, ready to celebrate. And I'm like, how long have you had this planned? So, for probably 6 months, he's probably had this whole thing planned. And the surprise birthday party that was supposed to be for her husband, it was like 20 of our friends waiting downstairs for all of us to celebrate.
I'm glad that all the planning of everything and everything kind of worked out the way it was supposed to, so I can now relax and be able to talk again, because I had gone for so long with not knowing who I was lying to.
Yeah.
And so I can actually talk again. I'm glad it worked out.
Thanks for getting me the ring I want.
Oh, you're welcome.
Good job.
Thank you for not being mad at me for lying to you for 3 months.
That's the only time you can lie to me. That and Christmas presents.
Got it. Okay.